We want to get to the big story. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is in Portland.
Our Chris Holmstrom is in downtown where protesters are gathering, many of them upset over Sessions' views on sanctuary cities. But first, let's go to Trevor Ault, live with the breakdown of the Attorney General's visit. Trevor?
Ken and Jenny, good afternoon. Yeah, I'm at the corner of Northwest 13th and Overton, where they've got a whole section of the Pearl District closed off. Now, behind me, this sand-colored building is the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services building. That's where Attorney General Jeff Sessions is going to be meeting with local and federal officials to talk about sanctuary cities. And, of course, he's going to be doing this here in Portland, which is one. Now, if you're not familiar, a sanctuary city means city officials limit the amount of information that they share with federal immigration officers, and that's something that Attorney General Sessions has spoken out against aggressively. In fact, he even threatened to withhold federal funding to sanctuary cities. But late last week, a court ruled the Department of Justice cannot do that. Well, today, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler is not going to be at this meeting. He instead passed along a letter to the Attorney General that said in part, quote, "In Portland, we do not merely tolerate diversity, we celebrate it. Our local laws support these values, and we are better for it." Now, the letter from Mayor Wheeler also voiced support for the DACA program, which protects undocumented immigrants who were brought to America as children. Of course, earlier this month, Attorney General Sessions announced the Department of Justice would be ending that program. Well, we do know that meeting today, Portland Police will have a few of its executive leadership members at the meeting, as will be Washington County Sheriff Pat Garrett. He's the president of the Oregon Sheriff's Association, and he defended meeting with Sessions, saying, quote, "The Oregon State Sheriff's Association believes discussing law enforcement issues with the top U.S. Department of Justice official could be beneficial to local public safety." Now, following these meetings, we know that Attorney General Sessions is going to be speaking at 1 p.m. And so right now we have our crews inside that are going through security. They're going to be there because this event is closed off to the public. So you can count on KOIN 6. Our reporter Lisa Balick is going to be our eyes and ears, because we also understand that Attorney General Sessions will be taking some questions and answering them. We'll be live streaming the entire thing so you can watch it as it happens on KOIN.com. And of course, we'll have a breakdown of everything that happens beginning at 4 p.m. on KOIN 6 News this afternoon. In the meantime, though, we do know that police have closed off 14th up here in the Pearl District 2, which kind of indicates that Attorney General Sessions might be making his way sometime soon. And of course, all the way down there, we already have some protesters in place. Chris Holmstrom has the details on that. In the meantime, Ken and Jenny reporting live with Trevor Ault in the Pearl District.
All right, thanks, Trevor.
And we do want to check in with Chris Holmstrom.
Right.
He is live where those protesters are gathering, and probably going to have a hard time hearing us. Chris, it sounds like they're already chanting.
Yeah, it's pretty loud out here. Protesters are waiting for Jeff Sessions to arrive, doing chants saying no hate, no fear, immigrants are welcome here. That's the biggest issue that people here are concerned about. We got a few dozen people out here protesting the arrival of Jeff Sessions, but I want to talk to Matt Los Santos from the ACLU Oregon. Obviously, immigration a big issue. Why are people so passionate here in Portland, especially, just about protesting Jeff Sessions and his take on immigration?
Yeah, I think people are out here today because they want to communicate to Jeff Sessions that he and his racist ideas are not welcome here in Portland. He's basically going on a countrywide tour to bully sanctuary cities and to try and comply with federal immigration law, to employ local law enforcement as part of his deportation force. And that's not legal and that's not right.
Yeah, and on the other side, as you know, immigration is a contentious issue. People on both sides of the aisle with different opinions. A lot of people talk about Sergio Martinez. He was deported over a dozen times. He's actually suspected of attacking 2 women here in the Portland Metro. What do you say to people who say enforcement needs to be stronger so crimes like this don't happen?
Yeah, and I think ICE needs to do its job properly and not rely on local law enforcement. What we've seen repeatedly is that entangling local law enforcement with the federal authorities actually makes our communities less safe, because people are afraid of going to the police to report these kinds of crimes. And so we want to make sure that people feel comfortable going to Portland Police, going to Multnomah County Sheriffs, anywhere in Oregon, basically, to report these kinds of heinous crimes when they happen to them.
last question for you. Does it surprise you that Jeff Sessions picked the Northwest? He was in Washington over the weekend, here in Portland, one of the most liberal cities in the country?
No, not at all. And in fact, when he was speaking in Miami, he used Multnomah County as an example of the kind of municipality that he really thinks needs to come and fall into, comply with the federal administration. So it doesn't shock me at all that he's here. This is just part of their bullying tactics.
All right, Matt, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. All right, so we are live here in the Pearl District. As you can see, dozens of people out here protesting Jeff Sessions. He's expected to arrive here at any moment, so be sure to stick with KOIN 6 News. We'll be out here monitoring online and social media as well. Back to you guys at the desk.
And of course, we'll let everyone know if there are any disruptions as far as downtown and Pearl District goes. All right, thank you, Chris.